So in this session, we are going to start with the next topic, that is the next unit of our C programming syllabus, that is structure, union, and enumeration. These are your user-defined data types. So before going to that, let us revise the different data types that we have seen up till now. Right? We have seen many data types. So the primitive ones or the basic ones, you can say, primitive or basic or built-in. Can you give me examples of these types? I'll give you one example, int, that is integer. Another example can be what?
Float.
Very good,
Float,
float.
double,
Then, very good. Then, character. Yes. Then long, short, signed, unsigned, anything. BOOL, bool. For bool, we need to use std bool.h header file. Okay. So these are some of the built-in ones. Then we have seen which ones? Derived. Derived data type. Derived means you're deriving them from your basic type. For example, array. An array is a collection of integers. Then just now we have seen string also. Okay, you can consider as a derived data type. Then another one, okay, string is not actually a type, but since you can implement string using arrays, you can consider. Then pointer is another derived data type. Okay, it is derived from basic ones because pointer is a pointer to a basic data type, right? Pointer can be a pointer to an integer. Okay, usually it is a pointer to an integer or double, float, whatever. So it is a pointer to a basic type, so it is a derived type. It is depending on the basic type for its existence. Then function is also a derived data type. Okay, then you have another thing called as references also, which we can study. Then you have user defined data type. So today we'll have an introduction to user defined data type. User defined data types. So just now I've given three examples, that is structure, union, and enumeration. Enumeration. So each of these are a user defined. Now by user defined, we know user defined functions. Means you can decide what the function has to do. You can define your function, you can describe your function. Similarly, you can describe what your data type is. Okay, this is very interesting. You can describe how your data type should work. You can describe how your data type should work. So till now, integer, how it worked? Only your decimal values. I mean the integral part of your fractional values, like 2, 3, 4, 5 means the numbers coming under your decimal number system. Okay. In float, you had what? The fractional numbers or the numbers which have a decimal point. In characters, you had a single character within quote, single quote. This all you did not decide that int will work like this, float will work like this. But now you have an opportunity to design your own data type. I repeat, you can create your own data type and define that how it should work. That is nothing but user defined data type. A part of user defined data type was array. Why? Because you defined that what elements will be there in your array, right? But you did not define that how your array can be accessed, how you can store elements in your array. All that you did not decide. You just did it as per the rules. But here you can define your rules. You can define your data type. So it's a very interesting concept, which is especially important for the software developers. They can decide that how they can use their data type. So where and why have these things been introduced? First is because you have the ease to design your own data type. Second is, I'll just start with one presentation that I've prepared. So yeah, suppose you want to store the specifications of a car in your program. Now a car can have an engine, it can have, just a minute, can have an engine, the type of fuel, petrol or diesel, then the capacity of the tank in cc, then the capacity of the occupancy or the seat capacity, how many people can sit at a time, then the mileage, and different parameters are there. So all these things are related to a car. all these parameters or all these attributes or all these specifications are for a car. You want to store them together, right? You will definitely want to store them together. So one alternative is if you use arrays. Okay, I'll tell you what is the drawback. You can use an array. Now first specification is engine. Okay, this is a type of engine which is specified as a string, right? It is a string. So the data type will be char. Then I can name it as engine, and then within quotation marks I can specify whatever type, suppose diesel engine or whatever. This is for one car. Then I have to create one more variable for the second specification, that is fuel type. The fuel type is again a string. Petrol or diesel is a string. The words petrol or diesel is a string. So maybe I can store it over here. Okay, maybe I can store it over here like petrol. But how will I know which is my engine type and which is the engine fuel requirement? So this is one drawback. So you may say, no problem, I will create another string, diesel is equal to petrol. The next specification, maybe it is the seating capacity. Seating capacity is an integer. So let me call it an integer variable seat. I can store 5. But how many such variables you will create? Maybe you'll tell me that it is possible for 2 parameters, 3 parameters. But what if you have to prepare a report for a car specification? So many variables you'll need. Okay, this was one drawback. Another drawback is if you have to study it for 100 cars, then will you, for each car, maybe you need 100 parameters. So 100 into 100 parameters you'll need for 100 cars. But it is not efficient. You may say that I will store all the engine types in one array, all the diesel types in another array for the 100 cars. So you may say that I am creating an engine array of size 100. First, I'll specify the first car engine type. Then for the second car engine type, I will specify. Then I'll write the engine type of the third car like this. Okay. Then for the seating capacity, you'll create an integer array and you'll write it as the for 100 cars, so 100, and then you'll write here 2 comma 3 comma 4. And then to access the details of car 1, you can write engine of 0. You will access the engine type of car 1. Then you will write seat of 0. You will access the details of the seating capacity of car 1. Okay, then for car 2, you have to write the index as 1. For car 3, index as 3. But this is not efficient and it is time consuming. So to store the different data types, okay, these are different data types. One is character, one is integer, something might be float. So to store the different data types under one head or under one entity or as a collection, or if you want to store them together as one unit, as a collection of elements of different types, then you must use your structure. So the technical definition of structure is it is a user defined data type. It is a user defined data type which consists of a collection of variables of different data type. I repeat, a structure is a user defined data type which is a collection of variables, right? It is a collection of variables, but it can be that the variables are of different data types. You can also have the variables of the same data type. Okay, now this is another difference of point of difference between arrays and structure. Array stores homogeneous data. You can have the elements like all integers, or you can have the elements like all characters. You cannot store different data type within the same array. It is possible in Python, but not in C, C++, Java. So another benefit is a collection of elements of different data type is possible with structure. Have you understood the need of structure till now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have very nicely explained it to you. So all these parameters can be stored under one structure as one structure. So as I said, for car 1, all these parameters you may have. What about car 2? Again, you'll have all these parameters for car 2. But array is not a good option, as I said, because it has the capacity or capability to store only one type of elements of the same type. So how to store these different data types? Using structure. As I said, structure is a user-defined data type to store a collection or group of elements of different data types under or as a single type. So all these parameters for one car can be stored in one structure. If you have number of cars, you can create an array of structures. Okay, this is a advanced concept. You can create also an array of structures. So that we'll see in the next session. Okay, so now what I can tell you is a structure is a user defined data type. It can combine the data of different types. There's a complex data type to store diverse information. Why diverse information? Because different types of data are stored in the same structure, similar to arrays, but not like arrays. Because structure is more practical, right? Array is what? It is for the same data type. But in practical life, you have the situations where you must store the data of different data types. Another example is one is for the car specification, another example is for the details of a student or details of an employee, such as name, address, email ID, employee. Name is a string, address is a string, email ID is a string, employee ID can be an integer, salary of an employee, it can be, suppose it is 2500, it can be expressed as 2.5 also, right? So it can be a float value. Okay. Now array can be accessed using subscript, or you can write a of whichever index. Similarly, to access the elements of a structure is a collection of elements. So to access each element of a structure, you must use this dot operator or structure member operator. So suppose the name of your structure is S, then S dot a variable within the structure. This is the basic syntax which we are going to elaborate in the future sessions. So you must use the dot operator to access each element of a structure or each variable of a structure, since it is a collection of variables. So the remaining we can see in our next session. So I hope this introduction to structures was successful. Have you understood till now why we need structures and what is the benefit of structure?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So now you can put your attendance in the chat box. Name, roll number, and division. And any other doubts related to the previous topic or this topic, you can ask me, or anything you want from me.
I just wanted to ask that, like in C language, we have these syntax of arrays and structures. So we have the same syntax with C++ also.
Yes, yes. C++ is just an extension of C language. Whatever you can do in C language, you can do it with C++ compiler as well, and some additional features are there for C++. You can have, you might have heard of different data structures like stack, queue, linked list, and all. They can be implemented directly also in C++. Whereas in C language, you have to define them properly. So you can say that you have structure, union, enumeration in C++, and you have also classes, because C++ is an object oriented programming language. It follows that paradigm. So whatever you do in C, you can definitely do in C++, but whatever you can do in C++, all what you can do in C++, you cannot do in C. Is it okay?
Yes, and actually, I have a few more doubts. That
Yes.
I have studied Java language,
Okay.
so there we have some labels, like there is front end and there is source code.
Yes.
So in front end, we design the structure how the, like if I'm creating a website, so I'll just drag the label and keep it in that uh, box, and when I click double click on it, the source code for that label will open it. So
Yes.
if I want to do app development work through C language, so how can I create like a button or a
Yeah.
drag list or something like that?
Yes. So such things are not directly possible with C language. Means with certain extra libraries you can do it, but efficient ways using C sharp programming language. In C sharp, which is again an extension of C and C++, such drag and drop features and interfaces, graphical user interface, such things are possible with C sharp. But you may or may not be possible with C to do it. It may be possible, but it will not be efficient. And only it is possible if you include different libraries in your C language. But directly with the C libraries or whatever the C developers have provided, with that it is not possible.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other doubts? Anything about C++ also, if you want, you can ask me. Because recently I worked a lot in C++ in my second year.
So we have C++ and C language in second year also, like a proper subject different for it.
Yes, yes. In C, actually, C, what they expect is that you must know C language. Okay, this C language is not there in your second year syllabus. So at least some basics of C you must know. So it's good that you're attending this course. C language is not there, but C++, whatever concepts you study in C, like variables, arrays, and all, that is already there. So that will not be taught. Means what will be taught is object-oriented programming in C++. So what they'll do initially, you will have the basic things, whatever you studied in C, you can implement in C++. For example, scanf will not be used. You will use cin. Printf will not be used, you can use cout. So such things, such gentle differences are there, which you will study in C++, and then directly you will have object oriented programming in C++. That is in your second year first semester. In your second year second semester you have an introduction to Java. Okay, this much you have in your second year with respect to programming languages. Any other doubt?
O- Okay. We don't have JavaScript, right? We have Java only.
In Java, that is actually Java is a part of principles of programming languages in second year, second semester. And in the last unit of that subject, principles of programming languages, you have an introduction to JavaScript. So what happens? They expect you to study on your own certain concepts. They will just give you an overview. JavaScript, AngularJS, Node.js, and HTML, such basic things are introduction or overview are there in a single unit of this subject. But you must study it in detail on your own.
So for Java, which platform do you you use in second year, like college
Uh, in
materials?
Java, actually, I have used Eclipse IDE. So there are different ones. Either you can use online compiler or Eclipse IDE or any other thing also which supports Java programming. So I basically
So
use that. You can use anything.
actually, I use NetBeans IDE for Java
Okay.
in my 11th, 12th. So I thought,
Yeah, you
okay,
can use whatever you is suitable for you. Anything else?
no, no.
Okay. So if you have put your attendance, you can leave this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome.
I have to ask something.
Yes.
For developing an app, which program, which language is important or easy
Yes,
to
for
manage?
app development, you can do it in Android Studio and you must use Java and Java or Kotlin. Java can be used, okay, means it is the base language you can say, and there is some additional features that can be used with Java to develop your apps. And Kotlin also, it is the standard or uh, original language which has recently been published by the Google developers that you can use Kotlin exclusively for Android development, and the syntax is same, but there are certain additional features. So basically, you use Java or Kotlin.
Okay.
Yes,
Means Java, it can be changeable. Means like Python.
yes, yes. So even Python, you can change or use certain libraries to use machine learning, artificial intelligence. So even if you update or make certain changes in a language, you can use it for your specific purpose.
Okay, means only for means for doing career in app developing, we should only know about programming or other subjects also.
Like you must know also some certain part of graphics designing to design the interface, but mainly there is programming part, because whatever you program, that will be displayed graphically. So mainly it is programming, but certain side subjects also you must know.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
This was,
Any other doubts?
yes, yes. That coding language, I have tried if the customer want to end the program, means he don't want to perform a transaction, then how can it return exit means? How can right? Can
So
I talk
if
in Marathi?
yes, yes, okay, okay.
म्हणजे जर त्याला परफॉर्म नसेल करायचं ऑपरेशन तर त्याला एक्झिट कसं करायचं लॉजिक घालायचं त्यासाठी
For that, if do you want to perform a transaction? So if opinion is Y or yes, then you will perform whatever things, like you will accept you will tell him to enter the pin, then you will ask him which transaction. But in the beginning, if he says he doesn't want to perform, then whatever is in within the if statement, that will not be executed. Else part, end of services. So within the if statement, what all you have to write? If he says yes, then the if statement is executed, and then you must ask him for the pin. Then, if pin is matching, ask him which transaction, whichever transaction he wants to perform. That is all coming under your if. But in the beginning, if he says no, then else part, that is end of services. Have you understood?
Yes, but after completing the transaction, if he selected deposit, after completing that task, how can it return or withdrawal later means steps?
So
म्हणजे
if
पुढे
in your
पुढे तसं
switch,
जाते.
so this is like uh, as soon as one operation or transaction is complete, you must use the go to statement, go to the else part. Okay, go to whatever is written within else part. You can use that logic, or you can
Can
simply come out
break.
of the switch case. Yeah, break also you can use, or you can come out of the switch case, and then simply you can print the message that end of service. Or best is you use go to statement.
Okay, and the last that I sent a program म्हणजे रिटर्न सी सॉरी रिटर्न झिरो केलंय मी ते
Ah,
प्रोग्राम नाही का संपला मग तिथं एक्झिट लिहायचंय मला पण ते एक्झिट डिक्लेअर करायला सांगते एरर येतोय की तुम्ही एक्झिट हे डिक्लेअर इनिशियलाइज नाही केलंय म्हणून एरर येतोय तर मग
means
त्याला कसं आहे
exit
हा
function over. Then for that, you need conio.h library or stdlib.h. Just try it out. I'll put the name of the library in the chat box. stdlib.h. Okay, means hash include stdlib.h, or you use hash include conio.h. Just try with these two libraries if it works.
ओके हा
Yes.
कोनिओ कोनिओ माहिती आहे ते क्लिअर स्क्रीन आणि
Uh-huh.
गेट पण
Yes.
त्याचं यूज काय म्हणजे गेटचा क्लिअर
Uh,
स्क्रीनचं पण आहे.
yes. A clear screen usually we can't use in Dev C++. In Turbo C++, it's okay to use. You know what is clear screen, to clear all the
हा.
output, and whatever you want to print after that clearing will not be, means it will be separate output screen. Like, and if you want to use get ch, okay, I'll give you an example here. Suppose I have hash include stdio.h, then void main, then I have one variable a equal to 5, and then get ch. So suppose I don't use get ch, I've removed this line for now, and let me print one statement also. So now what happens when I run this program after saving it? It will display whatever, and then this lines you'll get to see. process exited after so and so seconds with return value something. Press any key to continue. If I give get ch, means what will happen? First, this printf will get executed. Then for get ch, this has to be executed. This is a function call, right? This is a function call, inbuilt function call. So let me run this program. So ABCD is getting displayed. First printf statement before getch is getting displayed, but getch is that function needs to be executed. So what it expects that I must press any key on my keyboard, anything. Maybe I'm pressing one, maybe I'm pressing uh, at the rate, maybe I'm pressing dollar, maybe I'm pressing question mark, any character on your keyboard. As soon as I press, the execution of this function call is complete, and then whatever is after getch will get displayed, like this one sdfg, and then you'll get to see this process exited. So the use of this is the output screen is waiting for the user to enter certain character, and only then the program will end. That means if I do not press anything on my keyboard, the program is not yet over. If I press any character, only then the program is complete. So another advantage is that if you do not want to display the character on your output screen, right? Whenever I execute this program, suppose I'm clicking now, character M. M is not getting displayed at the output. Okay, so this is one benefit. And another benefit is you can use this in your conditional statement also. For example, if get ch is equal to character small a, then print a. Okay, so let us try if this works. See, I entered small a, and then that got displayed by this printf. Suppose instead of small a, I want to display some other thing like accept. Accepted will get displayed. So when I run this program, suppose I press small a, then it is going to the if condition is satisfied and it will print accepted. Suppose I print some other character, let's see what happens. See, I press small f, it is not happening. Program gets terminated. So this is another use. And you can also use get che. The benefit of this is you can whatever character you press on your keyboard, that will get displayed. So if I press small e, see that got displayed, and since I have pressed the character which is not a, so this is not getting displayed. Suppose I make it a small e. So if get ch is equal to small e gets displayed, and after that accepted will get displayed. So let me run it. I'm pressing small e, that got displayed, and then accepted. Have you understood why we use these functions?
Yes, yes. But
Yes.
it's limited or unlimited means how many times we can get that
Any number
program?
of times. Suppose you type 2 times get ch, then it will wait for 2 characters to be pressed. I'll show you that also, 1 minute. Um, Here I've given 2 times. So now I'm pressing one character. It will not be displayed because get ch. I'm pressing another character. So 2 characters are pressed. Now it will work. Suppose I use get ch 2 times, then 2 characters that I press will be displayed. For example, I can press G, it is displayed. Then when I press J, 2 times it is. Even in for loop, you can have this get ch. So if for loop runs for 5 times, then 5 characters have to be entered through keyboard. Okay.
Okay, yes, yes.
Yeah.
I'll try it.
Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome.